Okay, this is going to be kind of a different video than what I've done before. Basically, I want to make a game. Now, the reason I'm making a video for this is sort of the same reason I started making videos of my video game playthroughs. I have a huge backlog of video games that I haven't really gotten around to playing, but I've noticed that since I've started actually recording them and putting them on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, that I've actually, you know, been forcing myself to actually get to them in a reasonable amount of time. Well, I've also wanted to make a game for a while, so why don't I just sort of document the whole creation process? One, that'll actually force me to light a fire under my ass to actually get it done, and also it could be, pretty interesting. Uh, so, problem is, where the hell do I start? So, let's take a look here, and maybe we can start trying to plan this out. Come on. Making a game. Where the hell do we start? So, thinking start with some goals. What is it I'm trying to accomplish? Uh, make a game. Sounds easy enough. I do have a few ideas, but mostly I kind of just want to make a game, get something out the door. I mean, I've been going back and forth with some of my buddies for years now, saying, "Hey, we should make a game, buddy. Hey, let's make a game." None of these games have ever actually seen the light of day. So basically, I'm in the midst of all of those that have fallen apart. Just want to actually get something finished. I guess I should say finish! Exclamation point. So I suppose maybe actually finishing is probably like one of the top priorities. So now that may seem like, hey, well, what exactly do you want to do? I mean, you can finish anything. I could write like 3 lines of code, call it a game, and throw it out the door. So let's set a target, kind of a quality target, and I'm thinking at least something that I would be happy selling for 50 cents. Again, that's pretty low, and I'm the only person that's going to be working on this, so you can't expect too much, but that also sets it something low enough that I can actually feel confident that I can make a 50-cent game. It's not going to be completely easy. I mean, it's not going to be impossibly difficult, and it's not going to be too much, but I think make a 50-cent game that I'm proud of, that I can sell for 50 cents, and maybe throw that up on Steam. Greenlight. See if I actually make a buck off that. I probably won't. I think it's like $100 to put a game on Greenlight, and at 50 cents, after they take out all their cuts, I'd probably like to sell a few hundred different copies, and a 50-cent game. Who really cares? But if I make it good enough, who knows? I might be able to make a few bucks. Now, keep in mind, I'm doing this for beer money, not rent money, so I think I have that in my favor. Now, what can I actually contribute to a game-making process? Project. There we go. Honestly, programming, I would have to put myself at an A. This is, my general overview of my estimates of, my talents and whatnot, and I think programming is probably the top one there. Okay. 2D art. I'll be nice to myself and give myself a B. I have been doing those gimping videos, and those are just quick drawings, but I could do nicer art if I, really tried. But 3D art, I have messed around a little bit with Blender, but I'm nowhere near anywhere proficient with it. Writing. Obviously, I'm an excellent typer, but writing a C, I mean, I could definitely be functional at, telling a story, but maybe not the most interesting, but if I have to do it. So, looks like I'm looking at something that's more, probably based more on programming and perhaps 2D art. Looks like it'll be the best goals for me. Now, what are the possible drawbacks that could stop me from doing this? Time. Obviously, this is going to take a lot of time to do, and it's likely I will lose some ambition. So, and obviously responsibilities that would help take away from time. So, basically just making sure I actually put in the time to actually get it done, which is why I'm starting to put it on YouTube, because then it'll actually keep me honestly. So, let's see, now that we've got all this kind of laid out, what we want to accomplish, what we can accomplish, and what might stop us, what is the first step? Let's see here. Get an idea. That's nice, but I've got a few ideas. I'm just not really sure which one's going to be the most feasible given my situation. So, let's take a look at pick a platform. What do I want to make a game for? Like, what systems? I have a few ideas, but another first step, development tools. What tools do I have available or that I want to use to actually get this done? Well, start with platforms. We've got PC, Linux, Mac, Android if I want to go the mobile route, iOS if I want to go the mobile route, and let's see here, tabletop. Yep, that's right, tabletop is an option I could do here. Probably the least technical option, but it's an option nonetheless. I have DM'd a few games of Dungeons and Dragons in my time, so hey, it could be fun to make a homebrew tabletop system. Why not throw that up there? Alright. Dev tools. First off, Game Maker Studio. Good studio to use. Sure, it's a little pricey up front. I mean, in the range of hundreds of dollars, but that shouldn't be too big of an issue, and you can pay more depending on which platforms you want to focus on. So that is a definite possibility. RPG Maker. My reservations there is that would require a lot more of on the writing side. I mean, they do have a lot of pre-made art that you can throw in there. Question is just crafting an entire story. Of course, the world building I think may actually be interesting to do a RPG maker type story. Let's see, Mono develop is kind of a code for either C# or something like that. More traditional, programming, really. From there, I could just, make a standard, window and just put whatever I want up there. I do have a good background in programming, so I think for many people that might be kind of a unreasonable expectation. It doesn't really give me much. Like, Game Maker Studio or RPG Maker, they will actually give me a lot to start off with. Starting from scratch in C#, wouldn't really have much to start off with, but depending on what I'm doing, I won't really need it if I'm doing something a lot more, like, just raw text with very minimal art, something like that. like Dwarf Fortress or something like that, or like an ASCII, like Rogue or something like that. Definitely a possibility. Unity. Unity's really powerful, and I could definitely think I could get something through with that. I know Fungus is a good way to put some like text and story and control the flow in Unity, so that might be a possibility too. Uh, I honestly I kind of think that Unity might be a little more too overpowered for what I'm gonna need, especially being a one-person team. But let's see, Unreal Dev Kit UDK did start off a game in here way back in the day with a buddy of mine. Never really went anywhere, but I did kind of like where I was going with it. Can't say it's not that much better than Unity or whatever, and I would probably have to do like some more 3D art, which obviously isn't up my alley at this point, at least. Let's see, Twine. Twine, again, not too good at the whole story side, but hey, I could definitely do it. I know Twine lets you do a lot of picture, so if I want to do more of a, like one of those dating sims or kinetic RPGs or whatever the hell that is they're calling it, possibly go for there. And obviously, just text if I go for a simple, tabletop thing. Alright. Well, we have an idea of what we can do and what we can do it with. What the hell do I want to do? What are my ideas? GM. What would be an easy thing I could do in Game Maker? Probably like a casual puzzle game or something like that, or I've got another game that I was thinking of going forward with, which would be kind of a mobile-friendly action game type thing without giving away too much. And yes, I can spell friendly. Let's see here. RPG Maker. I do have kind of a idea for a space RPG. Not really. It's kind of a half-baked, at this point. So, let's see here. Mono. I do have an idea for a procedural adventure RPG. I've been thinking about this, for the past couple of days and think. So basically, my ambition is currently pointed towards that. I think it'd be pretty neat, but again, we have to see exactly what I can get done in a reasonable time with a reasonable effort. Unity. That mobile-friendly action game, I was originally planning to do that in Unity. Unity's great for 3D. I mean, you can do 2D in it, but I think I'm going to probably veer more towards Game Maker for that, so Unity, I'll put that as a question mark right now. UDK, the game I was working on with my buddy was a top-down shooter, so if I wanted to get back into that, but like I said, it'd take a lot of 3D art and all that. Twine, that space RPG I was talking about earlier for the RPG Maker, I could possibly do it in Twine, then I wouldn't have to really deal with the whole gameplay mechanics side of that, but I know that's kind of up in the air, and like I said, still half-baked idea, so probably veering away from that. And text, which would just be a fantasy RPG system, basically like D&D or Pathfinder or something like that. And I was kind of thinking of just kind of like trimming it down, making it real simplified. So it's head simplified onto there. Alright, so looks like my best bets are probably either the casual puzzle, the mobile action game, or this procedural thing, or my text, tabletop idea. So, it's the question, how exactly... So I'm making these YouTube videos, so I'm planning on making YouTube videos on this to keep me honest, to keep me motivated, keep me working on these. What exactly can I put in them so that I'm not, letting the cat out of the bag too early on any of these? So, updates. What the hell do I put in my updates? List my primary projects. I am an awesome speller, by the way. My project statuses. Again, for my primary projects, maybe put descriptions instead of names. That way no one swoops in and tries to steal my ideas from me, undercut me a little bit. So, let's see. Itemize required work so that I know what all needs to get done, and ultimately next actions. What do I need to do right now? So, I'm sure this video probably wasn't that interesting to you. This is more me racking my brain, trying to see exactly what needs to get done. And yeah, hopefully I will have an update video soon, showing what progress I have made. Let's see. Now that I've got all this written down, it's important to get stuff written down and get it out of your head. We'll see where I can go from here. So, till next time, wish me luck. Later.